Please rise upon the entry of the President of the State of Israel, Mr. Isaac Herzog, and the First Lady, Mrs. Michal Herzog, and the President of the Argentine Republic, Dr. Javier Millei, and the Secretary General of the Presidency of Argentina, Ms. Karina Milei. President Isaac Herzog, First Lady Michal Herzog, President Javier Millei, Secretary General of the Presidency of Argentina, Karina Milei, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the State of Israel, Mr. Gideon Sa'ar, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Trade and Worship of the Argentine Republic, Mr. Pablo Quirno, the Minister of Justice of the Argentine Republic, Mr. Juan Bautista Maíquez, ambassadors, rabbis, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Bruchim Abaim, bienvenidos, welcome. We are honored to welcome you all to the President's residence in Jerusalem for this special ceremony to present Israel's highest civilian honor, the Israeli Presidential Medal of Honor, to the President of the Argentine Republic, Dr. Javier Millei. I would now like to invite the President of the State of Israel, Mr. Isaac Herzog, to deliver his remarks.
ידידי הנשיא חוויאר מילי, חבר אמת של מדינת ישראל, מיכל ואני שמחים לארח אותך ואת המשלחת שלך עם שובך לישראל ולבית הנשיא. ברוך אתה בבואך. אפשר למחוא לו כפיים. אנחנו עומדים שעות ספורות לפני כניסתם של הימים הקדושים בלוח השנה הישראלי, החגים הלאומיים. הערב ניגש כולנו בחיל ורעדה להתייצב לצד המשפחות השכולות, לבכות ולזכור את חללינו. ומחר בערב נצא כולנו לחגוג 78 שנות עצמאות לפלא הגדול ששמו מדינת ישראל. זה הסיפור הישראלי, עצב, שמחה וגאווה, כרוכים אלו באלו. בשם העם בישראל, אשר הערב ירכין ראשו ומחרתיים יניף בגאווה את דגלו, אומר בפשטות, אנחנו אוהבים אותך ומחבקים אותך בבואך. Hermano Javier, my friend, it is a true honor and pleasure for Michal and me to welcome you here at the President's residence in Jerusalem. We gather at a sacred time and a sacred city. The city is our eternal capital, Jerusalem. The time is the eve of the Memorial Day, in which Israel comes to a standstill in solidarity and mourning of those who gave their lives for our homeland. Tomorrow evening, Israelis will dry their tears and raise their Israeli flag to celebrate the independence of the State of Israel. As we approach this moment, I feel privileged to present a great friend of Israel and a great friend of mine, Dr. Javier Millei, with the highest civilian award an Israeli president can bestow, the Israeli Presidential Medal of Honor. Mr. President, it is no secret that my term as president, like yours, has coincided with a time of great upheaval and dramatic shifts for Israel, for the Jewish people, and for the world at large. Throughout these years of great challenge, heartbreak, and also elation, there were moments that stood out for their emotional impact and their moral clarity. One was a moment you and I shared. In February of 2024, a few months after the October 7th horrific massacre, you conducted your first visit to Israel as President of Argentina. Here, the shock, horror, and pain of that dark day were still raw and pulsing. On the grounds of Kibbutz Nir Oz, with the signs of devastation and horror all around us, trails of blood still staining the earth, remains of the fire that scorched the land, you and I stood together, shoulder to shoulder, with Michal and your dear sister, looked the families of the kibbutz in the eyes, and vowed, this kibbutz shall blossom again. We recalled there in those darkest moments what is always true. The Jewish people, the Israeli people, will always rebuild. And we shared another truth. The Jewish people are not alone. The state of Israel is not alone. We have allies and we have great friends. You, Javier, in your actions and in words, demonstrated your friendship and declared your message of showing up in body, spirit, and heart, just as you did by announcing this visit during the war with Iran. You said what we say in Hebrew, Hineni, I am here, and the people of Israel will never forget it. Your message transcended nations and whispered across generations. A message of morality, of humanity, of aligning one's moral compass, of recognizing the depth of pain and offering comfort, of speaking up with silence, which is always simpler is to speak in silence, but you stood up and you spoke instead of disappearing into the crowd. In the timeless words of Rabbi Abraham Yehoshua Heschel, to be is to stand for. My dear President Javier Millei, this now is your third visit to Israel in a little over 2 years. In Jewish wisdom, this has a special meaning in Jewish tradition as well. The third time we observe a practice is called chazakah. A chazakah brings closure to a moment that now becomes enduring, permanent. And indeed, dear brother, there's no question your place in our collective Jewish and Israeli heart is permanent. The significance of your bond with our people goes beyond personal. As President of the Republic of Argentina, you are leading bold policy, enhancing the collaboration between our nations to the benefit of both our nations. Much of your leadership points straight to the heart of Tikkun Olam, our highest ambition of healing a fractured world. Together, we are harnessing the best of our nations to bring tools of innovation, science, and our boundless human creativity in service of greater health, prosperity, and well-being for people everywhere, and everywhere is now. It is therefore my esteemed honor to stand here as President of the State of Israel in its 78th year and decorate you with the Israeli Presidential Medal of Honor. This is a symbol of our gratitude and appreciation to you, a symbol of the bold and rich friendship between us, a symbol of the courage and moral clarity you have exhibited, and a symbol of our shared humanity, shared values, and shared vision for a better future. On behalf of the State of Israel, the people of Israel, and the entire history that stands behind us, I hereby bestow upon you the Israeli Presidential Medal of Honor. Muchas gracias, mi querido amigo Javier. Viva Israel, viva Argentina. Mazal tov.
The Israeli Presidential Medal of Honor is hereby awarded to Dr. Javier Millei, President of the Argentine Republic, for his unambiguous commitment to the future of the Jewish people and the security of the State of Israel, for his passionate humanity and ceaseless moving solidarity with the people of Israel in the wake of the October the 7th attacks, for his proud connection to the Jewish tradition and deep regard for its holy scriptures and ethical codes, for his fierce ideological and spiritual connection to the Jewish state, for his precise moral compass and his fearless public stance, for vigorously combating anti-Semitism, for being an outspoken Zionist, a truth seeker and a compassionate leader, for fortifying the bonds shared by Argentina, Israel, and boldly bringing our two nations further together. I would now like to invite the President of the Argentine Republic, Dr. Javier Millei, to deliver his remarks.
Mi querido amigo presidente Herzog, y a todos los presentes. En primer lugar, quiero agradecerle al presidente Herzog por esta medalla que me han otorgado. Lo recibo con el honor que merece y como otro cálido gesto del pueblo de Israel, que en cada visita me recibe con su afecto característico. Así como me siento honrado por esta distinción, celebro el continuo acercamiento entre nuestros pueblos. Celebro la conciliación de esta amistad, que ha sido uno de los pilares de la política exterior de nuestro gobierno y como parte de un retorno hacia los valores judeocristianos que supieron hacernos grandes. Argentina supo desviarse de ese camino, renegando de sus valores fundacionales en busca de alternativas que justifiquen los esquemas de poder de los gobiernos de turno. Hoy, gracias a que el pueblo argentino volvió a elegir la idea de la libertad, hemos retomado la senda de Occidente, de los valores judeocristianos y de todo aquello que nos hizo grandes como civilización. Y entre todo aquello que recuperamos, pocas cosas son más destacables que el estrecho vínculo de amistad entre nuestras naciones, una fraternidad que siempre existió del pueblo a pueblo, que ningún gobierno pudo quebrar y que hoy se presenta más fuerte que nunca. Argentina e Israel representan, cada uno desde su lugar, una misma causa, la de mantener viva la llama de la libertad en un mundo incierto, donde hoy la oscuridad se cierne incluso sobre todos los pueblos que supieron ser libres, que no es otra cosa que mantener la llama de una vida libre y digna de ser vivida, porque tal como Moisés le dijo al pueblo de Israel, entre la vida y la muerte, entre la bendición y la maldición, escogerás la vida. Por eso, queremos que la amistad entre Argentina e Israel perdure en el tiempo, primero por lo que representa para dos pueblos que comparten valores, un legado y una visión de futuro, pero sobre todo como un símbolo de que aún en los tiempos más oscuros el bien termina prevaleciendo, siempre y cuando permanezcamos unidos. Que Dios bendiga a Israel, que Dios bendiga a la República Argentina, que las fuerzas del cielo nos acompañen. Muchísimas gracias a todos.
Distinguished guests, this marks the end of today's special ceremony. Toda rabba, muchas gracias, and thank you all.